When it comes to players who are underrated, undervalued, and just underappreciated in general, the first player I think of is Anthony Davis. As looking at the media, when they talk Lakers success, and their championship hopes, what do they always mention? LeBron James this, LeBron James that. If you actually watch the Lakers play, pay attention to the game, Anthony Davis by far is their best player, most valuable, and impactful. If Davis plays great, it's almost a guarantee the Lakers are going to win that game. He plays bad, they have no chance. And in terms of defensive effort and offensive effort, one of the few players in the NBA who plays both ends. And looking at strictly defense, talking overall impact and value, up there with Rudy Gobert and Victor Wembanyama, as this year was 3rd in defensive win shares, 2nd in defensive rebounds, 4th in blocks, 12th in defensive plus minus, 7th in block percentage, and 2nd among centers in steals. And the icing on the cake, opponents versus Anthony Davis in the paint non-restricted area had a field percentage of 41.4% on 15 attempts. Now, seeing how great Anthony Davis has been on defense, the stats, the eye test, we all know that. But when it comes to NBA media, Clutch Sports, the pro-LeBron media, they consistently refuse to acknowledge how good Anthony Davis is. As looking at Kendrick Perkins, who has actual votes for awards, All-NBA teams, and All-Defensive teams, this guy snubbed AD on virtually all those rankings. As looking at Perk's voting for First Team All-Defense, who's the one noticeable guy not on that list? Of course, Anthony Davis. Looking at All-NBA teams, he goes in First Team, Second Team, but Third Team behind LeBron James. People like Kendrick Perkins and Shannon Sharp, Brian Windhorst, they refuse to acknowledge Anthony Davis is better than LeBron James and the most valuable player on the Lakers. And speaking for myself, I'm not some massive Anthony Davis fan. In the past, been a big critic of his game. But this year, you gotta take your hat off to him. Played 75 plus games, on both ends was effective, 25 points per game, and at worst, a top 5 defender. And despite LeBron and Anthony Davis on offense being pretty much equals, the defensive gap, defensive impact is really never acknowledged by the LeBron James media. And looking back at Kendrick Perkins, his 2nd team All-NBA, you might have noticed Tyrese Maxey was on the 2nd team ahead of Anthony Davis. And look, I'm a big Maxey fan, big believer in his game, but to be 2nd team All-NBA over Anthony Davis, I mean, bit of a stretch. He might win Most Improved, but 2nd team All-NBA, just a bridge too far. Much like Davis versus LeBron, Davis versus Maxey. Offensively, I mean, give and take, who's better, it's a toss-up. But defensively, there's no debate Anthony Davis far superior. And looking at Davis' overall value to the Lakers, when he played, they were 45 and 31. Now here's the kicker. The Lakers this year, with Anthony Davis minus LeBron James, have gone 5-5. Now, the inverse of that, LeBron minus AD, they're 1-4. And to kind of hammer this point home at Anthony Davis being severely underrated, undervalued, listen to this absolute tool at Fox Sports just spout nonsense about Anthony Davis.
Right. Say with my chest. Anthony Davis is the most overrated superstar in the history of the NBA.
Wow.
Can't count on him. He's not money good. He's always injured. I'll use the words you guys won't. He's soft. Doesn't play through pain. And you cannot count him to be there when you need to win a game.
I thought he was turning the corner, man, because I used to call him Mr. Glass. I'm like, the wind blow too hard, something hurting all of a sudden. But I thought he turned the corner a little bit this year for a hot second. But it's back to it. If it's not his back, then it's
something. It's always something.
Or something.
And what ticked me off, and this is my own little pet peeve, it's just my own little thing, when they came out with the all 100 NBA, all 75 NBA team and put him on it, I had a problem with that.
So stopping it right there, that Anthony Davis take, it would have been accurate and relevant around 2022. But 2 years later, that's just a stale take and just kind of recycling garbage from 18 months ago. And looking at his points, he said, quote, he's not money good. Are we gambling? I don't know what that means, whatever that means. Second point, the most overrated star of all time. Okay, we'll get back to that. And his last point, Anthony Davis being top 75 apparently pissed this guy off. The NBA's top 75 list, were there some snubs? Of course there were. Most notably, Dwight Howard and Kyrie Irving. And when debating the snubs for people who made it, Anthony Davis' name all the time was brought up as one of the players who didn't deserve to make it. But looking at Davis, I mean, top 75 should have been in it. One guy who questionably should have made it was Dame Lillard. But unfortunately for Dame, unlike AD, doesn't catch heat from the media for his resume not being up to snuff. If you're going to say Davis shouldn't have made the list, okay, fair, go ahead and say that, you're probably wrong. But in the same breath, a guy like Dame also shouldn't have made it. As looking at Davis' career up till 2022, an 8-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive, 3-time block champ, and 1-time NBA champion. I mean, Davis at age 21, he was first-team All-NBA, and took a Pelicans team in the post-CP3 era and made them semi-relevant. And of course in 2018, versus Dame's Blazers as the underdog, upset them and demolished them in embarrassing fashion. If you look at Dame's career up till 2022, I mean, 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. That's pretty much it. You want to talk deep playoff runs, iconic playoff runs? I mean, he has some big shots, but his deepest run was in 2019. And how did that end? Getting beat 4-0 by Golden State without Kevin Durant. And of course, in that series, Portland blew numerous 15-point leads virtually every game. The last series Dame Lillard won as an NBA player was in 2019 versus Denver in the second round. In that Game 7 to win the series, he shot 3 of 17 and was bailed out by CJ McCollum. And one more thing I do want to touch on, when it comes to the NBA media, commentators, the overall amnesia with Anthony Davis really is shocking. I mean, Reggie Miller TNT just tonight said LeBron James last year carried the Lakers to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, is Anthony Davis just invisible, Casper the Ghost? Is he not on the team of these people? Anthony Davis in the second round to beat Steph Curry, make the West Finals, was 22 points, 15 boards, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals on nearly 60% shooting. Davis that series had an offensive rating of 123, the highest in the series. Defensive rating 101.0, again the best for the series and the best on the Lakers. And if you want to talk overall plus minus on the court, Davis on the court plus 3.5, LeBron James minus 0.5. Clutch Sports, the media, whatever you want to call it, them downplaying LeBron's teammates, just flat out ignoring them, just gets so old and tiring. The biggest critique of Anthony Davis in the past, he wasn't healthy, made of glass, and very injury prone. This year, played 75 plus games, averaged 25 points per game, was a menace on defense, and minus LeBron James led LA to numerous victories. If this guy isn't third team All-NBA at the worst, the media's fix has to be in. So that right there is the end of the video. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.